What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another show. Yeah, you gotta share this mic because people been talking about you. They say I need my own mic.
You have your own mic in your own studio.
Yes, and you refuse to do the show in my studio.
Yeah, because I like my studio better. It's more manly. It's me. Anyway.
And they've been talking about how you got a gamer chair and I got this basic bitch chair.
Well, you know what? That's how I choose to do things because this is how this is how I run our marriage because I'm the man. And speaking of which, marriage is difficult. It's very hard sometimes because, as you see, I have my awesome, comfortable chair, and you have your chair over there. And so, speaking of that, yeah. So Derrick Jaxn, I don't know too much about this guy. I know you did a couple of reactions.
I did one reaction to Derrick Jaxn.
Yeah.
And
what did you think?
I didn't like the advice that he gave because the advice was against his better judgment at the time. And it was bad advice.
Okay.
And he said that I know that y'all are gonna do what you want.
Right.
So since that's the case, let me tell you how to go about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I don't think as a leader or as a person that's trying to help other people, you should never give advice to your better judgment, against your better judgment.
Okay, right.
It's just dangerous territory. So, few people been coming under that comment section and saying, "Oh, this video didn't age well." Obviously, not really watching the show that I did because I didn't agree with him. But because I'm a woman, they just read the title and automatically assumed that I follow Derrick Jaxn and I agree with him.
Right. Okay.
But if you watch this channel, I don't agree with what everybody says.
Well, a lot of people, right?
It's not even that it's a lot of people. I just don't agree with everything because I have my own mind.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right, exactly.
So
anyway, so he had an affair. He cheated on his wife.
And the girl came out.
Some girl exposed him.
Yeah.
And now he's doing a video for clarification.
Yes, with his wife.
Okay, cool.
And I started doing research because I wasn't sure if this was just a rumor.
Right.
So I went to his Instagram page and I only seen one picture of his wife.
Right, yeah. Keeping his life private.
To me, him being a relationship coach or a mentor or whatever it is that he does, to me, he should have his wife on there because it's, to me, the proof is in the pudding.
Okay.
And I did think that was kind of fishy or off about that.
Yeah, you know, and I kind of feel that way too because even on my Instagram page and Facebook and everything else, I always have pictures of you. Yeah, exactly.
Let these girls know.
Yeah, but it's almost like my page is like a second extension of yours.
Yeah.
And the same with you. You have pictures of me on there because I always feel a certain type of way when you see those the women that are on Instagram and they're always posting photos and they're out and they don't show their significant other and they say they have a partner. The same with guys who always have social media and then they're like, oh, I have a girlfriend, but then they don't post pictures of them. I understand sometimes you want to be private, but then sometimes there's always like a feeling of secrecy. Yes, sneaky. So anyway, I don't really know too much about Derrick Jaxn. I've heard of him and I've heard about him, in which I'm probably gonna end up watching a couple of his videos. But let's go ahead and jump into this.
Okay, we've talked long enough.
Yeah, sorry guys. Skip to the 5-minute mark.
Okay.
What's going on, guys? Derrick Jaxn here, and today I am joined by my lovely wife, Danae, and we just wanted to address a couple of things. You know, we understand that some of you may have already heard, maybe not, that this chapter of our marriage is one that was preceded by a marriage that I completely failed. And I would say it just started around August, maybe September of last year. But, you know, a lot has been said already about what was the cause and all that other stuff. Some of it is true. Some of it is completely false. But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. And some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with. But without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out. Definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took. And definitely not in alignment with the biblical standard of what it means to be faithful, which is the standard that I'm going.
So one thing I have to say about this wife is that she is a strong ass woman, because he's spilling his guts about what happened and what he did, and she is just straight stone faced. You know,
she's not stone faced to me.
I mean, it's almost like
blink twice, girl. Blink twice if you in trouble.
Yeah, he's holding that hand kind of
tight.
But still, like, she's like,
she don't look stone faced. She does not look stone faced. She looks sad. She looks embarrassed. She looks emotionally
exhausted,
drained.
Oh. Yeah,
because
that's a lot.
She's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
But she came, and sometimes I know when you get on camera, you don't feel like doing nothing. But she looks tired. Like tired. She was like, I'm not doing my hair. I'm not putting these contacts in. Man, I want to, this man has made me tired. I am drained. It probably took a lot of effort for her to even get on camera. And maybe I'm just looking too deep into it, but I have to I can't even put myself in her position. I can't, because okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
What? All right.
But blink twice, girl. If you're in trouble, blink twice.
By now, I'm saying this publicly, not because I'm
he's a big
married
guy
to you guys. First and foremost, I'm accountable to God. Then I have to be accountable to my wife, in which we've already had this conversation. I've already told her literally everything. I've given her basically a roll call list. If I've said hello to a woman in the last 12 years of me knowing her, she knows about it. But now that it's been made so public, it's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. I don't want to encourage anybody to do that. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things.
On your soapbox.
And then in my real life, live contrary for any amount of time or any length of time.
But that's what you was doing.
Extent, and think that I can't be held accountable. The same way that I preach, men and women in this situation need to face consequences of their actions, deserve to be held accountable. Guess what? Derrick Jaxn's no exemption. He's not exempt from that. I'm also not a victim.
He talk about himself in the third person.
Yeah.
Narcissist. Narcissist.
Okay.
I hope he is like, because it's been made so public and his business is probably in jeopardy. This has to be done.
Yes, damage control.
It's damage control, and his wife needed to be there for that damage control.
Yeah.
And I think she's trying to keep it together.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton did the same thing. You remember what happened to Bill Clinton? She was there.
But it almost feels like do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Nobody made me do this. She didn't make me or push me to do it. The next person didn't make me. No friend influenced me. It don't matter how I was raised and what trauma, whatever. Look, I made decisions. I made a series of decisions that I got to account for. There's no excuse or justification. I've already made that bet and have had to lie in it.
Several
now
times.
We're finally getting on to the other side personally in our own healing, in our own marital oneness. And now this is being made public to you guys. So we're bringing that forth to you guys to let you know where we're at with that. But did you want to say anything?
Yes, so I do want to just add that I agree with what he just said. there is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level. And it was unacceptable, and it's not something that I tolerate or that we tolerate moving forward. And when I've been flooded again with messages and these things and about, I need to leave or why haven't I left? And the answer is, when I found out about it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. And I stayed gone. No matter how many times he came, I stayed gone and stood firm on, I am not coming back. And I did not come back until I seen a shift and a change in his mentality, in how he carried himself, in how he presented himself, in conversations that we were able to have that we had never been able to have in just 12 years of knowing each other. And when we were able to have these dialogues, said, okay, Lord, this is something that you've had your hand on, and this was with me being completely removed from his life, and him pursuing God, continuing to pursue God, and continuing to eliminate these things that led up to the catastrophe that you guys are seeing for the first time. So there's nothing out there right now that is information that I don't already know about or haven't known about. And so this is not something that is new. We have moved forward from it. We have gotten counsel for it and continue to do so. He is still continuing to pursue God and continuing to seek guidance and wise counsel from men of God. And
a therapist?
That is what I needed for the continuation of me being present in this marriage.
Maybe you got therapy.
No, because they're using very specific words.
Okay.
We've sought out counsel.
You're right.
Not counseling.
Oh. From like a pastor or a preacher.
Right. And then she said he's been, I guess, meeting with men of God, or is that what she said?
Yeah.
That is not a therapist.
But you know what? It a lot of times, because what this sounds like, what a preacher would say when they messed up or they had an affair, cheated or something. They have to talk to their congregation. That's exactly how he's speaking.
This is what it feels like.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I'm not perfect. God doesn't make perfect people, and don't put me on a pedestal and blah blah blah.
Well, I don't hear them saying don't put them on a pedestal.
Who was the pastor here?
Which one?
Eddie Long.
Which one?
Eddie Long.
Babe, it was more than just Eddie Long.
Yeah, he was messing with boys. And
anyway, let's not go down that road.
All right.
However,
he's like, I'm not perfect.
Now he's not perfect, but when he was giving that advice and telling men what they need to do and step up, and men have been saying this is BS from the go. From the go. Now, I don't know if y'all made it this far into the video, but men have been saying this from the jump. Women, stop listening to this man. He is pandering. He is lying to y'all. And women are like, no, you hate it. I mean, that's not... I don't know what to say, but I don't want to call him a wolf in sheep's clothing, but that's what it kind of feels like.
That's what it feels like? Okay.
Because he waited till someone came out to say something.
Right.
And I guess that's how it goes. Of course, you're not going to wreck your business and put your business out on Front Street unless you have to.
Right.
So, how do you feel his wife is handling this, her demeanor? What do you feel about her and how she's handling this?
It's just like what you said. It seemed to me, she just seemed very emotionless when he was naming all the allegations and everything. It looked like she was over it. She was exhausted. She's over it, And now she's talking about what they've gone through in order to rectify their situation. I know that marriage is difficult, and I know
it's hard.
Marriage is difficult, and sometimes we make it more difficult than it needs to be. And I feel like if this is real, then they're navigating through it the best way they can, because there's a lot at stake. They have their relationship at stake, and then he has his business at stake. And so, hey, if you want to keep the money coming, you need to be on board. So I think ultimately that's
so basically you're saying it's a facade.
Well, no, I feel like if it is a facade, then he's doing it just to sell books or sell material. But if it's not, then they're navigating this the best way they can in order to save his business and keep his money coming in.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
Save their livelihood.
Right. Because even for her, she has to consider what her options are. Because if this is real, and if she had options.
Hey, why you keep saying if this is real? This is real.
Okay, then
this is real.
Then let's just say this is real. Then she has to consider her options and what her next move is. And if she doesn't have options, then her best option would be to stick it out and work it out with him and continue things the way they are and keep that money coming in. It's just like a woman getting cheated on by a football player. It's kind of like, well, you could leave him, but are you going to meet another football player? Or are you going to meet another man that's making as much money as him?
Well, this is what happens when
you don't have options.
Not only do you not have options, but you don't have money. I don't want to make an assumption, so I'm going to stop there.
Okay.
So let me not say that.
All right.
Because I don't know her life.
Right.
And to stand by his side. So today, where I'm at is at peace, and I proudly stand by his side, and I have no hesitation, I have no hurt, no shame about that. And it's only because of the grace of God and the mercy of God. And we have already turned a new chapter in this story. We are continuing to move forward, and we are just now sharing that with you all. And I forgave him, and most importantly, God has first forgiven him, and I also forgive the others as well. And with that, we are free and moving forward. So that's all I have.
Yeah. And I get it. Some of y'all, like, this may come as a huge shock.
Oh, he want to smile so hard.
What do you mean? You want to smile? Yeah, of course. He saved his marriage.
It's not about the marriage.
Some of y'all, like, this may come as a huge shock. Probably.
What?
Something not right.
Well, I mean,
look at the quick.
I seen it.
Listen,
I seen it,
y'all. I talk about these micro expressions all the time. It was It was like a devilish smile, like I got away with it. Look at this.
God.
That's all I have.
Yeah. And I
he want to smile so hard.
A huge shock, probably a huge.
He's like, yes, I was able to sleep with all these women, and I still was able to keep you, and I'm about to still get all this money from these women. This is all I needed. Let me tell you something, babe. If we get famous and we get money and all these girls, because see, this is what happens. These girls don't want you when you don't have no money. Okay. Then all of a sudden you get a little money, you get a little fame, and I help you. You know, she probably helped him get to where he was. Not saying she did the video. She wasn't in here, doing the videos, but maybe she cooked him a meal, kept the house clean, took care of the children. Let me say this. But I'm in the gym shooting with you. Let me tell you, babe. You know, when your mama called and checked on you and you wasn't picking up the phone and she was worried that I probably buried you in the backyard or had you strapped in the basement. Facts. facts. Let me tell you, you do something like this to me, babe, I love you to death. You will not see me on here holding your hand, seeking counsel. Okay? I'm just saying. I mean, people make mistakes, but I guess we just got different dynamics.
Yeah, that's what I said. Some people's marriage is different.
You know who you can do these things with.
Right, exactly. And some men, they know that. They know what they can get away with and what they can't. And my thing is that I know the dynamics of our marriage, and I like living. So, you know.
I mean, this is a confessional right now. I don't know what to say, but she seems drained. She doesn't seem full of life.
Yeah,
so when you forgive someone, and I know it takes time, but I refuse to let someone take my energy like that, because what's happening is, and we talked about soul ties in the last video, he's being with all these different women and coming back and being with her. That drains you. So y'all want to talk about God and forgiveness and all that kind of stuff, but let's talk about the details of that, because yes, men are able to get away with this more frequently, and you get into a certain position, and women don't respect your marriage. Right. You're gonna have to start beating them off like flies, and I don't understand why some men don't have this logic to ask themselves, would she be with me if I didn't have this?
We don't care.
You know? Oh, okay.
Men don't care. Men don't care about that. They don't care. When you have a groupie, a thought, or somebody that
you said we. So you talking about yourself?
No. Well.
Yeah. I cut you.
What I'm saying is, I'm speaking from the perspective of a man, but yeah, you don't ask yourself when a girl is approaching you, mm-hmm. or a girl is hitting on you. Mm-hmm. Would she be interested in me if I didn't have this money? We don't think about that.
Well, y'all should, okay?
We should, but we don't.
And then also, it's like that toy analogy that you had. Yeah. Nobody's playing with the toy until you start playing with it. Now everybody wants the toy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And for the most part, a lot of women are like that. A lot of women don't want they don't want the man until he's married or mm-hmm. he's got some. And I know that why that is, but you know, it's too much to explain in this video right now, but it's just the way it is. Guys or men are the only ones that will want something that don't nobody want.
I don't.
Yeah, because
really?
Yes, because men are like hunters. We're like predators. They're always looking for the low hanging fruit. We're looking for the easy prey. You know, and that's the thing. It could be something that somebody don't. Fruit. Yeah, it can be something that somebody don't want, and then it could be something that somebody already got. You know, and so it's men and women that don't respect marriages and relationships.
Well, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying from the mindset of a woman, a lot of times you see where women go after married men.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Or they go after men who are in relationships. Yeah. And yes, he needs to take responsibility.
Right. It's a tactic, and I've spoken to a few of my female associates that have done stuff like that, and mm-hmm. they specifically target men in relationships and married men because they know, number one, you know, the ones they target are financially stable. Mm-hmm. And then number two, they know that for these particular women, they know that there's not going to be any kind of real emotional attachment. And so they know that they can broker some kind of agreement.
Well, usually some girls do want... because women, we can't operate like men. And so you say, I don't want an emotional attachment, but then you do.
You get feelings attached. But that's what happens.
Right, okay.
that's what happens. You go in thinking that, okay, he's already attached to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
so there's no way that we're going to catch feelings with each other, and it helps me keep my feelings in check because I know he's with somebody. So now we can broker some kind of agreement. Hey, you can come kick it with me on the weekends as long as you pay my bills or give me some money or do this and that. And then all of a sudden, come 6 months, a year down the road, you develop feelings for him, and then the conversation shifts from this was our agreement to when are you going to leave your wife? And then also, it's men as well that do that kind of stuff, because men like to sell women dreams. They like to lie about that kind of stuff.
But
all right, let me give you an example. One of my friends, she was dating, or she didn't date.
I'm confused because
right.
You're saying men like to do
that
as well.
Right. So it's like this. Because and I'll give you guys this example and then we'll finish out the video. But she was talking to, or she met this man. He was a businessman. He had a family. He made up some kind of story about how him and his wife were being separated or whatever. And she had already talked to him and was like, "Hey, look, we can do this. You know, you don't have to take me out on dates. Just give me some money. We can go on trips. We can do this and that." She already laid it out for him, what it is. I know what you want. But he still figured he was going to continue to give her some story about, yeah, I'm going to leave my wife. And when I get the chance, you know, I want to give you all my time and spend all my energy with you. And maybe, you know, we can get married one day after I leave my wife. Like, he was trying to sell her a dream. And she was like, I don't care about none of that shit. Because I know that what you're trying to tell me is some bullshit. You know, I just need to get my bills paid. And I know what you want. So let's just cut through the crap and let's just do that. And he just continued to try and propose this dream about being her man. And she was like, I don't want that. And she ended up stopped talking to him. Yeah.
I thought you were saying that when vice versa, that when men approach married women, that's what I was getting. That's why I was a little confused because I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, most of the time guys don't try to approach married women. Let's go.
You know,
well, they do approach married women sometimes, but they not gonna want a relationship from her.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
Okay, you be confusing me, baby.
Sorry.
It's away from anything remotely close to perfection, and then it's simply that, you know, I am a human, and that does not justify anything.
So are these other men that you be talking about in these videos?
If you did, and I hate that you did that. Maybe I gave you cause for that, and I apologize if I did. For those who are saying, Derrick, I don't want to ever listen to you again, it's totally understandable. I appreciate you while I had your support and helping me get the message out about healing relationships with so many people who needed it, myself included. And for those who are going to continue to support, man, I appreciate you like never before, because I know it's not going to be easy going forward, at least for a little while so many things are still fresh and attached to my name. But for everybody out there, if you get nothing else from what I've ever said over the last 9
listen
years,
to him.
or right here in this video, please get this. Nothing is right until it is right with God. Nothing works until it comes into alignment with biblical standard of how God told us to do things. Especially when we're talking about a marital, spiritual covenant. Yes. You know, you cannot do this by your own understanding, your own intelligence, your own willpower.
Where was Jesus when you was talking to these girls? Where was he then? Because I find it interesting how God is used as a crutch so many times. Like, I find it not taking accountability. Yeah. Just say, I am a fucked up human being.
Well, that sounds a little harsh, and people don't want to say that. They want to just say, you know, the devil made me do it, or I was weak. And you know,
as long as we get it right with God and this, that, and the third. But where was this when you were talking about these men and what they're doing?
Right.
Where was that same energy?
Right. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Right. You know, and it's okay to say you a fucked up individual, but I'm working on it. I think people appreciate that kind of honesty more so than this. But I'm telling y'all, women, y'all are gullible.
Well,
and I know some of y'all gonna come up in this conversation, this comment section, Bible thumping. I am not the one. Don't come in this comment section Bible thumping on me.
Right. Me neither.
Don't do me.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit. Anyway, this goes back to what we were saying before about how women can't handle the truth.
Uh-oh.
And so, yeah, well, this comes back to women can't handle the truth, because if he went forward to his subscribers, his followers, and let them know, hey, look, I messed up, I'm an effed up individual, that's the truth. Mm-hmm. And like you were saying, people can appreciate that honesty. No, they can't.
Oh.
And so that's why they have to use things like religion and the devil and other things as a crutch to shield.
They're going to say, he didn't say the devil. He said he is working this out with God and stuff like that.
Exactly.
You know, working on his flesh. And I know that people make mistakes.
Right.
But he making the same mistakes while at the same time on this platform telling other women what they need to do, and then men are saying, no, this not right. And he's just telling people what they want to hear.
Yeah. I mean,
cha-ching.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. So let's go ahead and finish this video out and let's wrap this up.
Have the grace
I know
of
you're
God,
tired.
to break free from certain things, to stay away from certain things, to not operate from your lowest self, whatever it may be. And it's because it's really only by God's grace that we're even able to be here on this video, holding hands. Well, like a year ago, 7-8 months ago, even I couldn't see.
You better watch out.
Over, and I already had begun establishing my relationship with God. But that's the fruit of bringing things in alignment with God, and the mess that's been made, the mess that's now being made public from last year and years past. That's a result of
been cheating
out
for
of alignment
years.
with doing things God's way. So that's where I stand. That's where we stand. And again, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Yeah. To me, this is just damage control. He's, saving his business. Mm-hmm. Obviously, his wife, she's still on board.
She looked tired, though, girl.
Well, like you said,
emotionally drained.
I hope they work everything out. Marriage is tough. And
listen, you gonna stop saying marriage is hard and difficult and stuff like that.
Well, look,
it is not for me. It's not that bad.
Listen.
It's not like we skipping in a park all the time either. But
marriage is, like I said, you wouldn't let me finish. Marriage is tough for some people. It's not hard being married to you.
No, don't try to change it now.
I ain't gotta change it
because you already done said
whatever.
3 minutes ago.
We had an argument about this before. You were telling me how tough marriage is,
babe.
Whatever.
No, we going there?
No, we're not gonna go
exposed.
there.
Tahir and Tasha exposed.
But anyways, stop, girl. That's my titty.
It's so difficult being married.
How would you like it if I did that? Equal opportunity.
Feminist rights.
Equal rights. All right. Anyway, guys. Anyway, we hope the best for the Jacksons. I hope they work it out. He's trying to save his business, and she's on board. She ain't going nowhere. They got to keep that money coming in. But this is
girl. You start getting that money on your own.
Yes, go ahead. And
you should have had a secret bank account.
Well, maybe she does. We don't know. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let us know what you think about this topic. What we were talking about, our discussion as well. Very interesting, and hope for the best for them.
It's fake.
All right. Anything else you want to add, babe?
Marriage can be beautiful. Marriage can be so many things mundane. Sometimes we just chill out, watch TV. Sometimes, marriage isn't perfect, but it's not always hard and difficult. And
you don't have to fly people out.
Oh, he was get flued out. If you flew anybody out, because you got them Delta miles, you got them buddy passes.
Yeah, Sky
Listen.
Points. Sky Points money.
Oh my gosh. I'm just saying, look, marriage isn't for everyone. And I think he maybe got married. And I shouldn't make assumptions, but listen, if you put videos out, just like we put videos out, people make assumptions about us. But because all this happened, and he was giving advice, and people were like, oh, you're not even in a relationship, you're not even married. And maybe there was some pressure to get married because I have this business talking about relationships. I need credibility. That credibility, that validation.
Right.
You know, and it's more to it.
Right. We didn't get married to make videos.
What?
Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here.
All right.
Like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below in the comment section. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Ta-ta.